There.
Let's move this little thing up.
Well, and plus I have a very clingy puppy dog.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Don't have anybody on yet, but it's 4:00, so we're going to start talking about some stuff for this week. So, we had those couple warm days of weather, but it looks like the next 10 days are going to be under 70 degrees. So that's good for cool season turf. It's getting a little cooler. It's going to warm back up, I'm sure, but we needed this cool reprieve. The one thing that I'm struggling with is the amount of rain we've had so far this year. Last year, we were in the month of May, we got like 3.5, about 3.5 inches of rain. So far this year, now we're at the 18th, we are at 1.25 inches in the northern Indiana area, which is really low. It's enough where I haven't quite needed to water yet. Now I'm looking outside today. That's a different story. I'm going to definitely be watering tomorrow and starting a good watering cycle. I kind of wish I would have started a little earlier, not knowing that we weren't going to get very much rain out of these so-called rain days we were going to have.
Right.
It was like, it's going to rain. And then
Severe
we got,
weather.
yeah. And we ended up getting 1/10 of an inch or 2/10 of an inch. It was like nothing worth even speaking about.
And a dust storm.
And a dust storm. Yeah. Yeah. So, but like the bluegrass still hasn't quite woke up. So I wish I would have, watering with a hose is kind of a pain. So I kind of held back. But if I had an irrigation system, I would have already watered a good deep cycle by now, trying to get everything to start waking up in the soil. Soil's staying a little stagnant because the temperatures are there, but the moisture's not there. And so last year we were real wet, and this year we're kind of dry. Now, according to the weather, we've actually had more rain this year than average, but not in this month.
No.
Right. And it's, when it comes to turf, it's always current, right? If it happened a month ago, turf doesn't even care anymore. A month ago is long gone. So weather is short-lived in the turf world for sure. Because our roots are only, 4 to 6 inches deep if we have a nice healthy lawn. And so things can change real quick. We can get dry real fast. Matter of fact, we're dry right now, even though we got cooler temperatures. So I'd suggest, we're supposed to get some rain on Wednesday, but I mean, give it a good soaking if you have an irrigation system or something like that. And, get your lawn watered nice and deep. So try to get out there and at least get a 1/2 inch watered in. If not, water for an inch. You can always water 2 days in a row. One thing interesting about this time of year when it comes to watering is you don't have to worry about watering necessarily in the morning all the time, right? So like if I wanted to, I could even water tonight. I mean, it's gonna be cold enough. We're not gonna get any diseases. Everything's about temperature in the turf world. So if you're looking dry and you're right now and you're like, well, we're not supposed to water in the evening, no big deal. Go ahead and kick that irrigation on. It's cold. We're not going to get any diseases. You do it once here and there. Now, if you do it as a ritual, you're always watering in the evening and in the morning, evening and morning. We've seen people who do that, and those lawns are yellowish, disease-ridden. Matter of fact, there's a person who does that or has done that for many years down the road from us, and their yard is really stressing out right now because it's so used to that light watering all the time. And so it barely takes anything. And matter of fact, that yard will go bad in one day, right? Even with their watering every day, evening, morning, we get a real hot, dry, windy day. And that thing starts looking peaked in the afternoon. So they're kind of trapped into that watering very often, lightly. It's just horrible thing. So, but if I had my irrigation, I would have definitely watered nice and deep and got things going.
Oh, we're just counting on that rain.
Yeah, we were counting on that rain, and some areas still just aren't quite woke up yet. And the ants are loving it. They're just partying with this dry weather. They are everywhere. I did a big ant treatment yesterday in the lawn. Went through all the cracks in my driveway. Ants are just horrible. We got people ordering ant killer. Nonstop. Ant bait. Yeah.
It's
Entice. That's right.
Yep. We sprinkled all around yesterday. Remember, we went out and looked. And we saw some of the ant bait that I had sprinkled around my lands. My one plant was gone.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So they're utilizing it for
Mhm.
sure. So, and the one that we sell, it takes a little longer to kill them. So if you're expecting them to be gone, it takes a couple days. It's made like that so that way it can get traveled through the whole hive. Everybody can feed on it a little bit before it takes care of the hive of excessive ants. That's good.
Mhm.
The grasses are still going to seed really bad right now. Matter of fact, it's so horrible. At least in our yard, it's just like seed heads everywhere. Cuts weird, looks gross. I think it's gonna be a short seed head season this year,
Oh.
just because we're so dry. I think it's gonna run out of juice. I see some of them already quitting, so that's kind of neat. I bet you in a couple weeks, all we'll see is dead seed head stems. So we got that to look forward to, right?
Our favorite time.
Bunch of brown sticks in the yard and step on them and hurt your feet, kind of thing. That's a great time. But it's a cycle of grass. It's just kind of what happens. Mowing more frequently helps break that down a little faster. I'm going to be using that new Thatch Buster, the liquid, and I'm going to speed up the process. We're going to do half of it that way. The cooler weather this week will be kind of nice, actually. You can get out, get your garden done. We just finally started working on our garden and getting it prepped. We got some strawberries planted, and we're going to plant a bunch of other things still. So if you do a garden, get out there and get it done this week while it's nice and cool, and get it planted. That'll be great.
We still got warm yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen some corn popping up in some fields
Yeah,
already.
we did.
And we haven't even had that much moisture, but we need some rain. We need
rain.
some. So hopefully this rain they're calling for
Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
I think it's Wednesday.
Oh, they changed it.
Maybe
now.
a little Tuesday, a little bit Wednesday. Let's see here. Yeah, a little Tuesday, a little Wednesday, maybe even a little on Thursday. It's going to be in the 50s, mid 50s those days.
Wow.
That's going to feel freezing compared to what we've been used to, this mid 80s. This weekend's been a little chilly here and there. I mean, it's been interesting.
The sun's coming out now.
Yeah, that's good. Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and then also, if you've done any projects, everybody's doing projects in the spring and things like that. And I get this question all the time. Hey, I need to seed some areas, Well, this is a bad time to seed unless you really, really have to. But there is another option. It's getting sod. I mean, sod is great. It's already mature. If you have a shady lawn, then that's going to be a little bit of a different issue. You can seed your shady lawn if it's real shady, right? And you have issues even keeping turf there. If you go buy sod, it'll look great for a little bit, but it'll just end up going away. Bluegrass does not like shade. And so it'll get really thin if we do bluegrass, right? And so doing some shade seed, you can get away with it. It'll be a little weedy, but at least you won't have dusty dirt hanging out. So, but sod, it's a good fix. And out there, Red Hen Turf Farm, they now have turf type tall fescue sod. Which is new. That's awesome. It's actually a different one than bluegrass. That used to be our only option really on cool season turf. And now we have that turf type tall fescue. It's probably a blend of some sort so it can knit together well. And yeah, that's a good one. That would handle the shade a little bit better than just regular bluegrass. I don't think it would handle real well, but it'd be interesting to see how well it would do it. It definitely can handle, I think it only needs like 6 hours of direct sunlight. Filtered sunlight is a little different than that. So if you get 12 hours of filtered sunlight, it might be okay. That'd be midsummer, so that's not going to happen very often. So, yep. Cool weather. Getting the garden ready.
Oh,
that's right. Hey, another thing, if you haven't got your free hand down yet in your landscape to protect against weeds, remember, it's never too late. And even if you haven't gotten your fertilizer with your crabgrass preventer, especially ours, right? It's never too late. I mean, you might get a little breakthrough. Ours probably still won't get breakthrough, but if you're using something from the store, like that has pendimethalin, which is that yellow stuff in it, if you're using that stuff out in the yard, it'll still manage at least most of your crabgrass, right? So don't give up on crabgrass applications. I hear people say, it's too late now. Well, I'll just worry about it next year. Well, that's, crabgrass germinates all year long. So
yeah.
I wouldn't just give up. I would stop what I could stop. So
it's never too late.
No. And if you end up putting your thing down late because, you've been busy, life is busy, you end up getting your first application down late. So say it's now the 18th, right? Or you get it down around the 21st. just remember your second application, your mid-June, if that's what you normally do, just make sure it's 4 weeks separate from your first application. And if you do a 5-step and you're this far behind, well, you might have to shift everything over a little bit. You'll have to do your June 1st and now probably June 18th or 21st and whenever you decide it. And then your grub control, you'll have to do it July 21st and hope it's not too hot. The grub control can handle the heat a little better. And the one grub control that we use, it works even if you throw it down late. Other grub controls, you need a really targeted time window. And it might be too late if you're throwing it down end of July. And then you won't control your grubs. And you'll be like, I still got grubs. How does that work? Well, it's timing. And it's about everything in nature is about timing and temperature. Everything. So when temperatures are different and you don't have the moisture there, and so everything's about that.
Everything. Anybody have any questions?
Any questions
It's
out
pretty
there?
quiet out there today.
Yeah, we got 6 people on there. That's
Yeah.
great. So you can say hello if
Say
you want
hello.
to.
We have a very tired little boy joining us today.
Yep. Our little dog Oliver.
Yes,
Yep.
our little junior turf detective.
Yep. But this week is going to just kind of be normal. Just
Yeah.
try to mow a little bit more frequently to make those seed heads not so bad. I do this little cheat, by the way. I kind of mow a little lower than what I do throughout the regular season, right? So I'll start off shorter than normal in the spring, way shorter than normal. Then I'll bump it up to a height that I'm comfortable with. Like right now, I think I'm running around 3 inches. But midsummer, I'm normally at 3.5 inches. I'm going to keep it 3 inches until my seed heads are dead and no longer growing. Then I'm going to bump it up to my 3.5 inches, and then I won't have to see my dead seed head stems so much. So that's a little trick you can do to help, make it more aesthetic. That's a good move. Yeah.
All right.
So there. I think
that's about
really
it.
all that we need to talk about.
Minus the lack of rain, it's been a great spring.
Really has. It
You
really
know?
has. Yeah. We had plenty of rain early, but then it just got dry. It's been
Yeah.
kind of dry. We just haven't got much rain to speak of in the last few weeks, but that's
You can get
weather.
that'd be great.
And to be honest with you, it's always better to have dry weather than wet weather, right? Even if you don't have an irrigation system, because then we could be fighting all kinds of other things. Like mosquitoes could be blowing up like crazy. And we've had some mosquitoes, but it seems like they're calming down. That's good. Insect populations actually really get affected by dry weather. And so the drier we are, we're going to have a little bit less insects, and we're going to have a lot less turf diseases. And those are good things. You just add some water to get the grass back green again. So, yeah, maybe we'll have they're saying we're going to have a dry season. Well, so far, they're right.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Have a great day, everybody.
We'll see you next Sunday at 4. Remember, you can get onto earthway.com, one of our sponsors, and you can use our promo code GCQ10, and you can order a little hand spreader. You can order the new Littlefoot prize lawn by Earthway. All kinds of fun stuff on there.
Definitely check out their website. They have all kinds of fun stuff on there.
And you'll see me on there.
Yeah, you'll see
pushing
him on
spreaders around and stuff. So thanks. We'll see you.
Oliver.